Hello, Thomas.
Hello, teacher.
How do you feel today? How are you today?
I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So, are you ready for today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's start with a picture. Now look at this picture. Mm-hmm. So, Thomas, what can you see? Can you see a hippo?
No, I can't. No, I cannot.
Good. But can you see a barn?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Very good. So, Thomas, can you ask me a question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Let's ask me a question.
What can you see? Can you see a crow? No, I can't.
I answer, please. No, I can't. I cannot. And over here,
Look again. Now, can you see a black crow?
crow. Say again.
Crow.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And Thomas, let's look around your room. So what can you see in your room?
I can see a pencil.
A pencil. Good. Do you see a door? Do
Yes.
you? Yeah, okay. Can you see a window?
Yes.
Okay, here, right? Here is the window. Thank you. What can you see on the farm?
I can see a house,
A house?
a white dog, and
Mm-hmm.
a black beetle.
Uh-huh. A white goat, right? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Fly.
Okay, thank you. Very good. So let's move on with a poem. So which poem do you like, Thomas?
I like
Which poem do you like? Do you like horse, ostrich, or the rabbit hops?
I like horse.
The poem horse. Okay, let's see it now. Okay, so can you say the poem?
Yes,
Let's go.
horse. I saw a big horse on the farm. The horse was standing in the barn.
Good job. Please tell me the word that has the sound s.
Horse.
Excellent.
So.
Okay, this is saw. Say again.
Saw.
Okay, good. Thank you. And please find a word with the sound h. Say the sound first.
Horse.
Excellent. And now let's find a word with letter O. Letter O, please.
On.
Yes, say the sound.
On.
On. Say again.
On.
Good. Any other word with with the letter O? Which?
Horse.
Yes, good. Can you say the sound again?
Horse.
Oh, horse. Oh,
Horse.
good. Thank you. So, where is the horse? Where is the horse? Thomas, where is the horse?
Standing in the barn.
Oh, yes.
Standing in the barn.
Thank you. What is standing in the barn? What?
Horse.
Yes, the horse was standing in the barn. And where is the barn? Where is the barn?
The barn on the farm.
Excellent. The barn is on the farm, right? Good. Can you see a farmer?
Yes,
Oh, yes, right. Yes, I see a farmer too. Yes, I can. Good job. Okay, now let's talk about some songs that we've learned in Unit 4, right? Which songs do you like in Unit 4?
I like
We have
Four Little Ducks.
4 little ducks. Okay, so where do the ducks go?
The ducks go out to play.
Okay, are the ducks big or little?
Little.
They are little. How many ducks go out to play?
4 ducks go out to play.
Yes, 4, right? Okay. What do the ducks do when the mother duck says quack, quack, quack? What do the ducks do when mother duck says quack, quack, quack? Did they come walking back or running back?
Walking back.
Yes, okay. And then when the father duck says quack, 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 what do they do? What do the little ducks do?
The little ducks are walking back.
Do they walking back when the father duck says quack, quack, quack? What do they do?
All little ducks go running back.
Yes, they come running back. Okay. So what do the ducks say?
The ducks say quack, quack, quack.
Yes. What does a bee say?
The bee says "Pee, pee, pee."
Good. And how about the sound of the pig?
Oink, oink.
Good job. Now, do you want to sing the beehive?
Yes.
Okay, please sing.
Here is the beehive, where are the bees? Hiding away where nobody sees. Watch them come flying out of their hive. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. The bee, 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 bee.
Good singing, Thomas. Thank you. So, Thomas, where is the beehive?
The beehive.
Is the beehive in the house?
No, the beehive in the beehive.
the bee.
Yeah.
Okay, the beehive. Listen again. Where is the beehive? Where is the hive? Is the hive in the house?
No.
Where?
The hive
In the
tree.
Yes, in the tree. And where do the bees hide?
The beehive
The bees hide
on the beehive.
in the beehive. Good job. Do they hide in the trees?
Yes.
Yes. Good. So where is the teacher? Where?
Teacher here.
He's here. Good job. Where is Thomas?
Thomas here.
Here is Thomas. Here I am, right? Okay. Good. And Thomas, how many boys do you see now?
1 boy.
Okay, it's you, right? How many eyes do you see?
I see four eyes.
Great, good job. And do you see one nose?
Yes,
Okay. How many noses do you see?
two nose.
I see two noses. Okay, good. Mm, and Thomas, do you remember the song Bingo?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the dog's name?
The dog named Bingo.
Yes, its name is Bingo. Good. How do you spell Bingo?
Bingo.
NGO. My name is Lana, right? How do you spell my name?
Lana.
N-A. Excellent. How do you spell Thomas?
T T A
T-H.
R
O, please.
O M
A.
A
S.
S.
Excellent. Thomas. Very good. And what is the cat's name?
The cat named Missy.
How do you spell Mitzi?
MISSY.
Very good. Now it is time. It is time for the big books. 4 or green. So which one do you like?
I like
Green or 4?
4.
4, okay. Let's wait for a second. Okay, so this is 4. Okay, do you see 4 now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, Thomas, how many mice do you see?
I see 4 mice.
Where are the mice?
The mice on the house.
Yes, there are 4 mice
On the house.
in the house.
In the house.
Yes, good. Is it nice to have the mice in the house? Is it good to have mice in the house?
Bad.
Yes or no?
Bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Good job. It's bad. Very nice. And where are the sheep?
4 sheep.
Where?
4 sheep.
Where are they? Where are the sheep? Are they in the house?
The sheep in the barn.
The sheep are in the barn. Good. And the last one, where are the 4 cats?
The 4 cats
Are in
the farm.
on the barn. Sorry. Okay.
On the farm.
On the farm. On the farm. Thank you. Good. Are you ready to read 4?
Yes.
Good. Go. Let's
There
wait.
are
Okay, go.
4 cats on the farm. There are 4 sheep in the barn. In the house, there are 4 mice. Oh, I don't think that's very nice.
Thank you. Say this one again. Don't.
Don't.
Good job. Thank you. So that's the end. Okay. And now let's move on with the story. So we have a lot of stories in Unit 4. Which story do you like?
I like stories. The farmer and the carrot.
Okay, farmer and the carrot, right? What color is the carrot?
The carrots are orange and green.
It is orange and green, right? Good. And okay, I open the story right now. farmer and the carrot. Okay. Let's wait for a second. Hey, Thomas, the farmer in the story is young or old?
Farmer young old.
Yes, he is old. Are you young or old? Are you young?
Young.
I am young. Okay.
Young.
And is the teacher young or old?
The teacher young.
Is young. Good. Nice. Okay. So here is the story. Farmer and the carrot, right? Okay. And what did the farmer put on the seed every day?
The farmer put water.
Do you put water on the flowers or the trees at your house? Yes, right. And how did the carrot grow?
The carrot grow very, very big.
Yes, it's very, very big. Good. And then what did the farmer want to eat for dinner?
The farmer put up.
Did the farmer want to eat the carrot?
Yes.
Yes, right. So he wanted to eat the carrot for dinner. So what did he do? What did the farmer do?
The farmer.
What did he do?
Pull and pull.
Yes. And did the carrot come up?
No, the carrot cannot come up.
Yes. And then who did the farmer go to? Who did the farmer go to?
The farmer goes to.
The farmer went to the
horse.
Yes, the horse. And what did he say to the horse?
The farmer said, "Please help me pull up my carrot."
Very good. Did the carrot come up?
The carrot did not come up.
Okay. It was too big, right? And then who did the farmer go to?
The farmer goes to the cow.
Yes, he went to the cow. Good. And what did he say to the cow?
The farmer said, please help us pull up my carrot."
Good job. So, and then who did the farmer go to after the cat?
No.
Who did the farmer go to after the cat?
The dog.
The dog? Really?
The farmer
went to the
cat.
After the cat. After the cat, who did the farmer go to?
The farmer go to the cat.
To the he went to the
rabbit.
Okay, so now who pulled on the carrot? Who pulled on the carrot?
The mouse.
The mouse? Really? Really? Who pulled on the carrot?
The animal.
The animals and
the farmer.
Yes, pulled on the carrot. And then did the carrot come up?
The carrot come up.
Yes, the carrot came up, right? And then what did the farmer say to the animals?
The farmer said, "Thank you, my friend."
And then what did they say?
The animals say, "You're welcome."
Very good. So, when your mother cooks dinner for you, did you say thank you?
Yes,
When yes, right? So say thank you, mom, for cooking dinner, right? Okay. And did you say did your mother say you're welcome?
yes.
Yes, okay. Very nice. Okay, so I think it is the end for you, and you did a great job, Thomas. Excellent. And it's time to say goodbye, Thomas.
Goodbye, Peter.
Yes, enjoy your afternoon. Goodbye.
Bye.